Today, we are about to find out what the art of public speaking is. And we have our guest in the studio. He is Owoseni, a public speaker and a trainer. Good morning. And
Good morning. It's great to be here again.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
All right, so the question is, how do you master the art of public speaking?
Okay, just like you introduced, public speaking is a wide spectrum. But I think one of the first foundation we need to set is that we all can engage the use of public speaking. Public speaking is a tool. Right? So a salesperson can engage the use of public speaking. A marketer can engage the use of public speaking. A professional in a workplace can engage the use of public speaking. And a political leader can engage the use of public speaking. A teacher, everybody can engage the use of public speaking. It's just a tool. And so the question is, what do I want to use this tool for?
All right.
Right? So it's a tool, and then it's an art. I call it an art and a science. Public speaking is an art and a science. Now, the art part is what is within you. You can't change the art. The art is myself, my personality, my aura, my charisma. That's my art. But the science can be learned everywhere. The science talks about the principles. There are a set of guidelines that should be followed as a public speaker. So there are things I should follow when I'm speaking in public. And the art talks about being yourself. If you look at the array of various public speakers, you find that there's this uniqueness about each person. That talks about the art, right? And then you find again that they are following the same science. The science can be learned by anybody, whether you're an introvert, extrovert, anybody can learn the science. Blended with your art, you'll be an amazing public speaker.
Okay, so we're about to learn the science.
Yeah, we're about to learn the science.
And guidelines that would help you as a public speaker.
Okay, now, there's a whole lot, but you see, the beginning point is this. I found that words are the carriers of thoughts. Words. And so most times, it's not necessarily about how to say what you want to say, but what you want to say in itself.
Now that's very interesting.
Yeah,
I need to break it down.
Now, because the idea is that when someone appears to speak somewhere, either it could even be, let's even break it down. You could even just be hosting a meeting in your workplace, and then or you just a staff meeting, or it's just you're going for a sales call, or it's just anything. It's not necessarily when you're standing on a stage. No, everybody engages the use of speaking. So it's not just about how to say what to say, but knowing what to say in itself. And what to say is a combination of words, right? So words make up, sentences, and sentences in turn makes up a speech. And so as a public speaker, or as any professional engaging the use of public speaking, I appear and, all about what I want to say is about the words I want to use, the sentences I want to use. So in other words, there's a paucity of words that denies people from speaking well in public. Not necessarily even how to speak it. Yes, I know there's a percentage of how to speak, what to speak, but there is a larger percentage of what to say. Now, so the first thing I do is that I get to coach other people and train other people on the art of speaking. And when we go through the course module, one of the first things we try to establish is, what is your message?
Okay. What
do you want to say? So we talk about clarifying your message. So, for example, you could be a speaker and your subject matter area is maybe on health and wellness. You could be a speaker and your area is on maybe genetics or recreation or anything, or real estate. You can speak from any area of knowledge. You can speak just from any area of knowledge. So, but you need to first clarify that message. Build a niche around that area of your message, and then you build on it. So you find that as you've clarified your message, over time you are so established in that field, and you don't lack what to say. You don't lack words.
You are already a master in. You've mastered your art. That is, as I've gotten from what you said earlier, it is an art and it's a science. You've blended your art and your science, but I haven't. I want to be a great speaker. I want to be able to stand in front of people and, give my message, send that message across. But now I need the tips. to become a great public speaker? Because the first thing that comes to my mind is fear.
Yeah.
I am afraid. I see a lot of people all around me and I'm like, oh no, I cannot face these people now. So tell me, what are the tips that I need to use to become a great public speaker?
But sorry to come in, before you know the tips, I really want to know, is public speaking tool for everyone? Is it really for everyone?
Okay, yeah, okay. So let me start from what you asked. Now, some people use public speaking actively, some other use it passively. But everybody can use it. So, for example, currently you are engaging the use of public speaking, right? And so when I get various invitations and trainings, I'm engaging it actively. Most times when you see a person on a stage is engaging the use of public speaking actively, right? So, but you can engage it, perhaps you're just, you're in an interview panel. You're also engaging the use of public speaking, either as an interviewer or the interviewee, right? And so everybody gets to engage the use of public speaking on either of the divide, either actively or passively. That is clear, right? Now, beginning to, the starting point to, of managing and blending the other sign is this: understand who you are, right? And to be sincere, actually, there is no set of 10 rules to speaking.
Okay.
I can be sincere with you, right? And, the idea is that master some set of principles and show up over time. You get better at the craft, right? And so first understand your personality. So for example, I'm a blend of a choleric person and a sanguine person.
Ooh.
More of actually choleric and phleg, right? Not even more of sanguine. So in other words, I'm not necessarily an extrovert or an outgoing person, right? And so I need to understand myself.
As much as I'd like to be myself, I am myself in itself. And I'd like to, stand in front of people and give my message.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid.
Okay.
I am. I'm shaky. I'm trying as much as possible to focus, but I'm sweaty. I cannot control it. But what exactly can I do?
Okay, let me merge that with something. A number of persons talk about stage fright, right?
Yes.
Together with that fear. And you see, it's a scientific and a psychological thing. If I appear before an audience that I've seen before or I've spoken to over time, there is no jittery, there's no stage fright. If I appear before an audience today, perhaps a new audience, in the first 2 minutes, I could have some bit of increased heartbeat.
Okay.
Even till today. Right?
But till today?
But I've mastered the science. And the science is, the secret to this is that when you appear before, a set of people you don't necessarily know before, you could feel that way. It's how the body is wired. But then your focus should be away from that increased heartbeat or fright. Your focus should be on the message. Okay. You see, that's why I shared about clarifying the message for. So this is what I do. So I get somewhere, maybe it's a new audience I've not spoken to before, and then I get set, and then I start up with an opening remarks or whatever I want to do to speaking. So whether my heart is beating for first 60 seconds or not, I just get on speaking. And after a while, you actually have forgotten when that stopped and normalized, because that's just the makeup of the body in that, guys. And the fact that I appear before an audience I get to see virtually weekly, there's something special. We laugh when we see one another, and then that's how it works. And so the principle again in that sense is overlook the fright, overlook the fear, focus on the message. Focus on the message. And a tip that can help with that is you could just have a strong opening. And you see, as we go on this session, I don't want us to focus on those who engage the use of speaking actively alone.
All right.
So that we engage on everybody actively and passively.
Okay.
But the point is, I could just be having a meeting with 5 people. Public speaking means I'm having a meeting with 5 people or more, whether it's 550, 500, 5,000. That's it. And so when I'm having a meeting with 5 people, the same energy, the same principles I will engage as I'm engaging now is the same principle I will engage anywhere. And so when I start speaking with them, I could just have an opening remark. It could just be, it could even be a little form of welfare, saying, "Oh, good morning, everybody. How are you doing this morning?" As simple as that is. Or I could even start by sharing a story. Or I could just start by maybe just saying a striking thought or a quote. There are various opening remarks that could be used to start up a presentation.
Now, do we have ethics that are set in stone for public speaking that every public speaker all over the world must follow?
Okay. Yes, we do. We do. And then, you know, if you look at every profession, what the difference between every profession is that there's this set of ethics that they follow. They call some call them code of conduct.
Yes.
So we have a code of conduct as well as a public speaker, and one of them is this: be it a passive or an active form of engagement or presentation, you get to see how you can. One of them is protocol.
Okay.
Right. So you appear somewhere to speak. You know, I think I gave an example the other time, and then I could just have an opening remarks by saying, "Oh, good morning, everybody." That's a simple act of courtesy, simply greeting the audience, as simple as that could be. I don't just come in and start blabbing with all of my experience and principles, except I'm trying to form another entrance, another opening remark using that.
Okay.
But so, and you even get to some form of very corporate, platforms to speak, and it's expected of a public speaker to, follow some sort of protocol. Although some persons over time get to misuse that, and that derails them from the message. So the idea is that you could just recognize the protocol. For example, you could recognize the organizers of an event you're in, or say something just to show that you appreciate people you're speaking with for their time. I'd like to appreciate your time for being here today. That's courtesy. Now, let's go away from protocol. Another sort of principle or ethics you could follow is what we call, it deals with the use of the speaking tools. Speaking itself is a tool, but again, when you're speaking, especially when you want to amplify your voice, you have some gadgets and devices you use. For example, you're using the mic, one of the most notable tools for speaking.
The microphone.
The microphone. So whether it's an handheld microphone or a lavalier microphone or hands-free, whatever kind of microphone, there's a way you should use it. And then I don't get somewhere to speak and I'm just eating the mic to test it, and all of that. So it's advisable that the mic is about 2 inches
below your mouth.
Below your mouth, so you're not breathing in too much air into it.
Directly.
Now, there's a caveat to that. It depends on, mics differs, so it depends on the quality and the... So some you could even be this way and it's fine. Some, so depending on that also works too. And so some have said you the mic with your right and your left hand. I don't think there's any cast in stone principle to that. You can hold it on either hands, and you could also alternate it, depending on the gestures you want to make. We'll come to that shortly. So, but the idea is that the mic is to amplify your voice. So if people can't hear you and you're still using the mic, it's making no sense. Gestures, we call it delivery dynamics.
All right.
That's, I think in the school of public speaking, that could take about maybe 50%. Do you know why I said so? In delivery dynamics, you have about 2 parts to it. You have the verbal dynamics and the non-verbal.
Non-verbal, yeah.
Okay.
And both of them are, very important. Now, the idea is that verbal talks about your voice, your tonation, your words, right? Yes, I know we may not necessarily go in depth to talking about, elocution and all of that.
All right.
If you, a public speaker, you want to be a very good public speaker that's Pan-African, global, you could want to go into and get some very important skill on that regard. Such that whether you're speaking in Nigeria or anywhere, people understand you when you say any word. It's the right way to say the word. So I'm not going to say I'm the best in that, but the point is keeping a tab on improving yourself, especially with the use of words. So now, but apart from that, apart from the kind of words or grammar, now a key part also is the tonality.
Okay.
Now, have you been in some sessions and then you just seated somewhere and then the session is boring?
Yes, I would say I would say yes to that.
Actually, when I look at all of these things, and I'm glad on this kind of platform that iImpact is giving, because people need this education. You don't need a degree in this to improve your skill in speaking. So the point is this: not every word will be on the same level of pitch. When I want to make a stress on some words, I increase my pitch. I want to make a point of emphasis, I increase my pitch. So if I'm saying something, a very good morning to you, I want you to say a very good morning to you. Tonality. So I look at every sentence I have in my speech, And there are some words that will require a higher pitch and some might come down. And some again, to repeat them as a form of emphasis, I increase the pitch again. That's verbal dynamics, tonality. And so you find out that if someone is just speaking and it's just at the same level, this person is speaking like he or she is sick, then you know that is not being conveyed well. And so the idea is that speaking demands energy. And by energy, I don't mean you are gyrating. I only mean you are giving the right tonality to every of your words.
Do you like the video you just watched? Then you should click on the like button and move over to click on the subscribe button. Also, you should click on the bell to get notified anytime we drop amazing episodes of Tea or Coffee for you. Adios.